cluttered garage. I'm really glad you're here. A place where we can laugh and talk and days are filled with cheer. The clouds of Sunday come and go, but one thing's always clear. Welcome back, my friend. You know I'm really glad you're here. Yeah.
Hey, welcome back, my friends. I am really glad you're here, and I want to welcome you to live stream number 205 on July 21st, 2025. 205 also seems to be the temperature outside the last, well, all summer, I guess. Anyway, it's been hot, it's been humid, and I suppose we're supposed to get a break coming up soon. But funny thing, next week, end of July, like next week is the end of July, that is midsummer. We're halfway through summer already. It feels like it just started. Next week we'll be halfway through it. I don't mean to say that in a depressing kind of way, but time is marching on for sure. But listen, I want to welcome you here tonight. If you're new to the live stream, we talk about the channel basically. We talk about life in the country. Of course, content that I make with my compact tractor and the attachments that go along with it, and projects that we do around the farm here. And we just get together and chat every week. Sometimes I have a guest, like we did last week. Sometimes it's just me and you in this highly interactive live chat. So, speaking of which, if it's your first time here, if it's your first live stream, if you're new to the channel, please say hello, hi, how you doing in the live chat so that we can welcome you to our little community of Monday nighters that get together each week. Also, let me know how you found the channel. Was it YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok? Because you can find it anywhere. And we do this practically every Monday evening from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., so just 1 hour. And like I said, sometimes there's a guest who's very interesting. Sometimes it's just me who's very boring. And then you liven it up with your comments. But I do want to mention that with the live chat, if you have a question or a comment, post it in the live chat like this with the word question followed by the question, and that makes it really stand out. And I'll try to answer it, or the good folks in the live chat will help you out with that if you have a tractor question or something like that. We'll be doing a sticker giveaway before we wrap up tonight. So if you've never won one of these awesome stickers, tonight could be your chance. So that'll be coming up before we leave here tonight. So stick around for the sticker giveaway. And then, of course, finally, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, because we are broadcasting simultaneously to both platforms, click that thumbs up button, and I'd very much appreciate that. Otherwise, let's see who's here tonight. Let's check out the comment section. Then we'll talk about a few things. I need your help tonight. I need you to tell me what you want to talk about. You know, I'll talk about my last video. We'll talk about, stuff going on in the property here and, just everyday stuff. But really, what do you want to talk about? You can put it in the live chat and we'll talk about it. Look at Hunter. First one here. Hello, Hunter. Glad to see you. And Jennifer Martin, or Miss Jennifer, as Hunter refers to her. Good to see you. Chevhead Ed. And I know I saw our buddy Ross on the land, and our friend David from RCAF Polar Express is in the house. Good to see you all this evening. And there's our friend Chris from the Watershed Overlook. You'll never get tired of that, will you, Chris? I bet you won't. Good to see you as well. So, yeah, it's been hot. It seems silly to talk about the weather. Like, that's all people talk about. It's like, got nothing to talk about? Let's talk about the weather. But gosh, I'm going to talk about the weather here. It has been oppressive for sure. It's been, if you watched my last video, I talked about a little bit how we've been waking up to like 85 degrees first thing in the morning to like 98% humidity. And that is brutal. I was outside tonight as I was cooking some dinner on the grill. Ann had made some sausage and peppers and onions, and then I took it out to the Blackstone griddle. And as that was cooking, I was push mowing around the back of the house. And I mean, we're talking a little push mower. We've got a Ryobi electric, battery operated, self propelled push mower. It's a neat little thing. It's got like a 21-inch cut. It's not like a tiny little push mower. It's average size, but I love that thing. It's nice and quiet. Excuse me. Nice and quiet. It's got a good amount of power. And I love the self-propelled part too, because it's just makes it kind of handy. Anyway, I wasn't using the self-propelled for a lot of it because I was doing around trees and things like that. But I was really hot. I was sweating, soaked, just because the humidity is up. But that's how it goes. And again, I'd rather be out there with that than all bundled up with cold wind and, running the snowblower like Ross and John do. Yuck, up in Canada and up in Minnesota. Yeah, we don't have those kind of winters anymore here, but I don't like that too much. All right, so, okay. So I'm looking for any questions. And I see Chris is talking to David about solo flying. David, you've been sharing some videos online. That's really exciting. I, at one time, thought I'd like to have a pilot's license, but then I heard they're really hard to get. And it's a lot of work, a lot of hours, a lot of expense. And a few years ago, a friend of mine, an acquaintance, a colleague, took me up in a homemade aircraft. It was not an ultralight. He said this is not an ultralight. I don't know what the difference is, but it was an open air machine with material wings. Like it was like a not cloth material, but like they were wrapped, and it was a two-seater. Again, open air. The engine was, I think, it was in the back. I have a picture of it somewhere. But I always wanted to go up. He took me up in this thing, and I loved it. This could have been 10 years ago now. We used to have a local airstrip here in town, not in town, out of town, but in the community, there was a local private airstrip. So I met him there, which is only like 2 miles from my house. We went up, flew around for, 20 minutes or so. I loved it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could do this. I was so excited. And I thought, my mind's always thinking like, can I make money with this? Like, not that I'm always thinking about money, but I like for hobbies to pay for themselves. That's kind of just, I don't know why. I feel guilty spending money on anything unless I feel like I can make it pay for itself. Not that it does, but my thought was, I'm going to get one of these aircrafts, and I want to take pictures for people of their properties. Like I thought this could be a great business. I'll go up, I'll fly around, I'll get these aerial shots, and then like a year or two later, everybody had a drone, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm glad I didn't do that. That would have been a losing venture because it's so easy now to take the drone up and take pictures. But before these camera drones came out, it was really rare to get an aerial photo of a property, and just really fascinating to see. Now, it's sad to say, but drone shots are just okay. There's a drone shot. They're always pretty, but there was a wow factor that has kind of gone away because we've gotten comfortable seeing these amazing images, and they are amazing. And I still love taking aerial shots with the drone, but I'm glad I didn't go through the trouble to build a homemade airplane and get a pilot's license. I don't even know if you need a pilot's license for that. I guess you do. I'm sure you do. I mean, I needed some kind of license for the drone. So anyway, although it would have been fun, I'm not saying it would have been a bad idea. I would have loved it because I compared it to, because it was open air, it was like riding a motorcycle in the sky, and it was amazing. So that was my little experience with flying like that. So John, thanks, man. That's really kind. I know you're working on a house though. You need to keep that money, but thank you. That's really, really nice and really helpful, and I appreciate it so much, so much. Who's Your Handyman has a random question, but I'm gonna pull it up because this is what we do. Ever use gutter or leaf covers or house gutters? Yeah, I put some on the barn. I didn't make a video about it because I thought, well, this is kind of boring. And then when I did it, I thought I should have made a video about that. Um, but I bought some gutter covers from Home Depot. They have they're aluminum and they have a stainless steel screen on top. I don't know if they're the best ones to get or not because I think that screen could still things could still lay on the screen. I think the smooth ones might be better. But anyway, they worked great. Um, they came in like 5 foot lengths, and you just snap them on top of the gutter, and then I didn't have to drill self-tapping screws along the top that had adhesive on it, but I wouldn't trust that, so I did the self-tapping because maybe if they were brand new gutters and nice and clean, it would work, but mine were old gutters, so I did use them on that. I don't have it in the house, probably should, but the other house, which was a ranch style house, I never put leaf gutters on it or leaf guards on it. I should have. I kept saying I wanted to, but that house was 60 feet long on each side. It was a big old rambling ranch house. So I never did it, and the gutters would get blocked up. They'd overflow. When they overflowed, water would come into the basement, and I kept saying I want to do that. Ultimately, I would end up going out in the pouring rain with a ladder up against the house, go up on the roof, scoop out the gutters to make them drain. Never did it. But the barn here filled up quickly with leaves, and I thought I'm not putting up with that. So I did put them on the front side of the barn. The back side, not yet. And the house doesn't really get blocked up for one thing. Phil and Lucinda, the previous owners, they put the big gutters on. What are they, 6-inch or 7-inch? The big ones, like the ones you see on commercial buildings. And that's nice to have the oversized gutter. So I think that helps a lot because if you have bigger gutter, bigger downspouts, really looks nice, and it actually looks good on the old farmhouse. So I think that helps. And then also being, I don't know, there's trees around here, but they don't seem to get as blocked up. I did just clear some out last rain on the front porch, but the upper level, the second floor, third floor, I haven't had to do anything with those. So anyway, that's my story on that. And then Greg has a question here. Again, this is not just for me. This is for folks in the live chat. You can answer, Greg. What do you use for security cameras? I have been a fan of the Ring camera system only because it works very conveniently. There are better cameras out there. In fact, I had the OnWote system that I did a review on. It came with I forget what it's called, but it's a standalone recorder, hard drive recorder. So the OnWote system was 4K. The cameras were hardwired, so it was a lot more work to set it up, but it was hardwired. It went to not a DVR. They call it something else because it's at any rate, a hard drive recorder. It recorded 24/7, high quality. It would sense motion, so it would mark the video. You could use an app to find the footage. I like that one a lot. But when we moved, I didn't set it back up here. I just used the Ring cameras because they're Wi-Fi. They record when they sense motion, so they don't record 24/7, but they work really well. And the camera quality has improved. I got the latest Ring Doorbell 2 Pro or Ring Doorbell Pro camera recently because my first one died after 6-7 years or so, and the quality is better. So I've got cameras all over this place, on the front, back, sides, barn, and they all work with that Ring system. I love how you can call it up and look at it. You get notifications if there's motion, and it works pretty well. Probably my biggest complaint, and I don't know that there's any way around this, but in the summertime, I get a lot of spiders building webs in front of the camera. I think because the camera has infrared light, and I'm guessing the insects or the spiders can see that infrared light, and that might attract insects. So they build webs sometimes right in front of the camera, and I get notifications all night long because if a spider goes across, or even if I get like a wasp flying around, it sets off the camera and gives me a notification. Well, in the middle of the night, I don't want notifications if it's nothing. So I mute the notifications sometimes, which means then I'm not going to get notified if there's a real problem. So that's the problem, is they pick up bugs and things like that, and that messes with the notifications. You can adjust the sensitivity, which I've not done too much with because I don't want to miss anything. At any rate, I like the Ring. I like the Ring systems. And I know that Google has a Nest system that's similar to Ring. When I did my research years ago, the Nest system was better in some ways because, as I recall, the Google Nest system records 24/7, but the cost to upload that to the cloud is more expensive. The Ring system, now you can run these cameras without any cloud service whatsoever, so you can call it up, look at it, but I like it to record to the cloud. So the Ring system is still like $100 a year, maybe a little more than that at this point, for I think unlimited cameras. So you just pay this flat fee and it uploads to the cloud and you have the footage there. It keeps it for I don't know how many months, but you can download it easily to your phone. So I like that. The Nest system, although it records 24/7, it was a cost per camera annually, and it was going to cost a lot more if you got 5-6 cameras going. It was a lot more. So that's what I got to say about that. Yes, Bob, I did have a good fall the other day. If you saw the last video that I made, I was cutting up my containers that come inside the IBC totes, the bladders that are plastic, and I was cutting them up and I was stacking the pieces, and they are slippery like ice, and I took a fall. My mom, when I was a clumsy kid and I would trip over things, now I'm a clumsy adult, but I remember my mom, I would trip and my mom would say, "Oh, have a nice trip. See you next fall." She loves saying that. It's pretty funny, actually. Farm Girl, 1609. Hunter's sister, good to see you. Holly, there we go, came to me. And I can't read that name, but new to the channel. Thank you for being here. Yeah, we do some land keeping and maintenance, and I did some land planing recently on the driveway. So anyway, welcome. Thank you for introducing yourself, and certainly we want to welcome you to our little group here. And Craig, first time catching the live stream. I watched several videos on YouTube, honestly. I'm not a fan of live chats. Hey, that's okay. The live streams don't get a lot of views because we're just a little core group of Monday nighters who get together. So anyway, I thank you for stopping by, and no hard feelings, but thank you for your honesty as well. And really watching the channel is what it's all about, and I do appreciate that so much. All right. Okay, so I'm going to look through comments again. If you have a question or comment, I'll try to catch it, but that's not always easy. Bob, good to see you. Jens, thank you for your comment, helping you out with the B2601. Yep, I've had it now for 5, almost 6 years, and it's been a good little tractor, and has allowed me to do a lot of work here on the property and create content with the tractor. And I'm glad to know that some of my videos have helped other people, because when I learn something about the tractor or something, I like to share it, and that's what I like to do. Cole, first time here. Good to see you. Cole, question, what kind of drone? I have a Mavic, a DJI Mavic Air 2S, which is getting older now, but it still works very well. I crashed it twice last summer, had to send it in for service twice last summer. Kind of embarrassing, but I was hot dogging, and that's what happens. This summer, I've used it a little more carefully. Yeah, it's a good little drone. Not little, it's not tiny, but it's a good drone. I don't know if they have a new I had the original Mavic Air, and then I got this Air 2S. So I don't know if there's a new one or not yet, but I do like the DJI products. I know there was a threat from the government to shut them down because they posed a national security threat, because DJI is a company owned by a China-owned company, not owned by China, but it's a China-based company, and there are security concerns always with the Chinese government gathering information. So there was a bill in the works to shut down DJI in the United States. I don't know what happened to it. I guess nothing. I know a lot of fire departments and law enforcement use DJI drones. They have the infrared systems. A lot of farmers use DJI drones. They have these giant drones for spraying. They're not the only company that does this, but I know that DJI is one of the most popular ones. So I don't know what happened with that. It kind of fell flat. Like TikTok. TikTok was this big national security threat, and then all of a sudden, I don't know. I guess we're okay with it. I'm still using it. I still upload to TikTok. But I do think if it was a national security threat then, it still is. So, I don't know what's happening there. But hopefully DJI sticks around. Sticks around. Yeah, I guess that's the word. Because they make good stuff. Chris washed his LX 2610 tonight. Heard differing opinions on this. Curious about how many are in the wash, don't wash camp. Good question. Do you wash your tractor? I'll answer first. The answer is no. But I have washed it. Like when I got it stuck in the mud, I would power wash it. But otherwise, I don't wash it. Now, sometimes too, I don't know if this counts as washing, but like if I mow the field and get a lot of, dry grass and dust and everything all over it, I will hose it down. I've done that. So I don't think that counts as washing it, though. Are you talking about like a sponge and soap and washing it down? Yeah, I don't do that. I don't think I ever have. But good question, Chris. For the audience, do you wash your tractor? All right. Interesting. Lorex security cameras. Can't say I've heard of that. Can look into it. And Ross has a bunch of Wise cams. I have heard of Wise. Post-event review. Okay, interesting. Oh, and Reolink. I have a Reolink camera too. This one has the memory card or the data card in it, the SIM card, so that the camera can work from anywhere. And you buy this prepaid SIM card, and you can look at the footage from anywhere. I've got the little solar panel for it. I don't love it. I mean, it worked, but it was kind of delayed on catching footage. I didn't like that about it. A little clunky, but I think it's because maybe the cell service here is not so great. So it's nice that you can have a property with no electricity, no cell service or no internet service, and you can set up one of these cameras and still see what you need to see. So I like it for that, but it didn't work out great for me here. I actually want to set it back up in the woods and see if I can use it sort of as a wildlife camera. Yeah, there you go. Exactly what I was just talking about. Reolink cellular mount camera with a cell camera, solar charger. Yeah. Yep. That works. NVR. Thank you, Chef Head Ed. Not a DVR, an NVR. That's what they call it. And John has the Blink system. Boy, a lot of different security camera systems out there. Blink. And I think I've heard of that as well. Thanks, Who's Your Handyman, for the reminder to hit that like button. We like it when you hit the like button. Let's scroll down. Hey, Chris. I know what you did there. Ed treats his drones like his truck tailgates. Yes, because I bent my tailgate twice. I crashed my drone twice. That's what I do. GP, good to see you, my friend. Seacliff Steve waxes his 2601. Is that sarcasm? Or is it true? Yeah, leaf blowing is good. I blow off the tractor with the leaf blower. That's a great tool. Blow out the garage floor with the leaf blower. Use it for a lot of different things. Sarah and Tim, good to see you. Our winners from last week. Wasn't it great having Doug on here from Summit Tractor? Knowledgeable guy, interesting company, interesting concept with Summit Tractors. Selling now through Tractor Supply, through some independent storefront dealers, not really a tractor dealer network, but certain stores. Home Depot, you're going to be able to buy a tractor at Home Depot, which is like, I don't know if I like that or not, but Doug really explained it well, how their system is set up, and really better service than a lot of tractor companies out there now, because if you buy one of these bigger name brand tractors, you're not going to get tech support 7 days a week. Where Summit has this system set up where you can call tech support on a Saturday, a Sunday. If you need parts, they will send you the parts to repair it yourself if you want to, or they'll set you up with a dealer who does repairs. Like they work with independent tractor dealers who don't necessarily sell the tractors, but they do the repairs. So it's an interesting concept. And like I said to Doug last week, I think he is very forward thinking in this, because it's new, and a lot of us are like, I'm not going to buy a tractor that way. But look at Amazon, that started out as a online bookstore. And Ann and I were talking about this the other day, and I said, I remember saying, who wants to buy a book on the internet? Like, that's dumb. You want to go to the store and you want to look at the book and crack it open and read the back cover. Nobody's going to buy books online from an internet. That's crazy. And look at where Amazon has come today. So, again, I know Summit is setting up a system where you can order the tractor like through a retailer, and it'll be delivered to the retailer, or it'll be delivered right to your door. You know, that's the world we're in now. So it's interesting, and I hope they do well with it. They're also coming out with a new 37 horse tractor, so building on the line just a little bit, a cab version. Interesting is all I can say. That's all I can say. Right. All right, I'm looking through now. I hate the dead space when I'm reading here. But look at that, 7:30 already. I thought that I would share a few things with you, because it's just kind of a free roll kind of night, right? I thought that we would talk about July 21st. Why not, right? We haven't done this for a while. Today is Global Hug Your Kid Day. So if your kids are around, go hug your kids. I think that should be every day, though, really. Shouldn't it? Shouldn't you hug your kids every day? Anyway, today, especially, you should. It's also Invite an Alien to Live With You Day. Now, this is not, in today's political climate, this is not what you think it is. This is a celebratory day honoring the show Mork and Mindy. I don't know when it started, but Invite an Alien to Live With You Day is based on the show Mork and Mindy with Robin Williams and Pam Dauber, one of my favorite shows when I was growing up. Robin Williams was an unknown, virtually an unknown when he started with that show. Imagine that. And to this day, when I think about Robin Williams, I get sad because he was full of energy. And to think of how his life ended really hurts my heart. To know that a person that was so brilliant and had access to every possible means of help that a person could have, and didn't work for him. Makes me sad. Makes me sad for all the people who struggle with depression and don't have the resources that somebody from Hollywood and wealthy would have. It's not always about money, but you know, a lot of people out there that just don't have the resources. And here's somebody that had every resource available to them. And it's no fault on him. It's just horrible. Anyway, makes me sad. Today is also the lowest recorded temperature day. Minus 128.6 Fahrenheit in Antarctica. I don't know what year that was, but it was on this day apparently. The lowest recorded temperature. That's cold. Good news though. It's National Junk Food Day. Who doesn't like junk food? National Laminating Day. I love laminating things. And finally, I know it's the end of the day, so you kind of missed out on this opportunity, but here's what today was earlier. It was Take a Monkey to Lunch Day. See? I should have looked ahead of time and told you sooner so you could have taken a monkey to lunch today. I didn't research that. I don't know where that one comes from. But today is Take a Monkey to Lunch Day. If anybody did that, let me know. Did you take a monkey to lunch today? Did you? I don't believe you. I don't think you did. All right. Let's go back to the comments and see if that stirred up any conversation. And then we'll do a little giveaway here in a moment. Was that on this day? Neil Armstrong walking on the moon? That should have been in my notes if that was today. How about that? Who's Your Handyman? Love that show. Yeah, Mork and Mindy was... It was just funny. I was probably 12, 10 or 12 when that show was on. And one year, I was Mork for Halloween. Wish I had a picture of that. My mom was pretty awesome. She made my Mork suit. And she took like gloves, leather gloves, or whatever they were made of, spray painted them silver, spray painted old pair of boots silver. I still remember that Halloween that the paint wasn't dry and I had silver paint between my fingers because the gloves, they absorbed the paint. But yeah, I was Mork for Halloween. I was also, once for Halloween, I was the oldest man, played by Tim Conway. I loved the Carol Burnett show. I've shared that with you several times in the past, and I loved Tim Conway. And ironically, get this, ironically, I have gotten so many comments on this channel saying, this guy sounds like Tim Conway. This guy even looks like Tim Conway. I never saw that. I never heard that. But if I must have gotten at least half a dozen comments over the years saying, who's this Tim Conway guy? Like, it's just funny to me that I'm somehow compared to him. A few people have made a Fred Rogers analogy, and that's an honor too. So another one of my childhood heroes and adult heroes was Fred Rogers. I would have liked to have met him. But enough about that. Enough about me and Tim and Fred. Okay. Do you see the Tim Conway resemblance? Is there anything? Yeah, the on-air light is on. It's flashing, I think, because the batteries are dying. For sure. Chris. Now you know why 6 folks invited you to lunch today. That's funny, Chris. Okay. So let's carry on. Right. Okay. Yep, it does seem like there's a special something day for everything, right? Every day there's something. Yes, Dorf, right? I never thought Dorf was hilarious, but it was funny enough. Um, the best was Tim Conway and Harvey Korman when they would crack each other up. Usually it was Tim trying to break Harvey Korman's character. What a great show, though. I did finally get an autographed picture of Carol Burnett. I was able to email a self-addressed stamped envelope. I don't know how I found the information. And I requested that. I think I sent her a letter. I think I even sent her a copy of my school report where I said I was going to have my own show like Carol Burnett. And so I got a letter back. I didn't get a letter back. I got the picture back. I got a picture, black and white picture, headshot of Carol Burnett, signed Carol Burnett. That's fun, but I was kind of hoping for something more personal. I was kind of hoping that she would come talk to me on this live stream. But I'm sure that she didn't even see it. Like, she probably has a bunch of autographed pictures, and then her staff just fulfills the requests as they come in. But pretty neat, because I had that, and I have Carl Reiner before he died as well. And I did actually get a note from Carl, not from Carl Reiner, but from his staff, because I had written about an idea that I have that I wish I knew somebody who worked on Broadway and produced Broadway plays, because I have this idea, and I got a note back because I shared the idea. I thought, what can you do? Like, if somebody steals my idea, then what can I say? But I think it's brilliant. So I wrote a letter to Carl Reiner and shared the idea, and I did get a reply saying, Mr. Reiner, appreciates your comments, but he has no plans, blah, 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 whatever. That was kind of neat. And I got the autographed headshot of Carl Reiner. And then he died. So, right? Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the dentist scene with Tim Conway and Harvey Korman was great. And then, of course, you'll see the famous story, the famous blooper online when Tim Conway is telling the conjoined elephant story, and he's just breaking up. And Dick Van Dyke was actually in that skit, which is kind of funny. But Tim Conway's talking about these conjoined elephants, and he's breaking up the not the staff, whatever the actors are. But look that one up if you want to look up the Tim Conway elephant skit, and you'll laugh. Funny guy. Tim Conway, he voiced one of the characters in SpongeBob, and I don't think I knew that until after he passed away and was reading about Tim Conway. And I used to watch SpongeBob with the kids all the time, but Tim Conway was one of the characters on SpongeBob. How about that? How about that? Another favorite of mine was Bob Newhart. We could just go down this nostalgic road, but Bob Newhart, hilarious. Love that guy. All right, let's do this now. You know what that means, right? Right. Let's do the sticker giveaway. There are a couple of you who are new here tonight, so let me lay down the rules here for you. The way this works is, in the live chat, you're going to type a word or a phrase. Not just any word or phrase, but a word or phrase that I'm going to share with you. And then This applies to the live stream only. Playback doesn't count. So it's a good thing you're here live. You'll enter this word or phrase, and then we will randomly select a winner via the computerized selection process. And then I'll mail these to you, or two that look just like it. As we say, if you have already won these stickers, why don't you back away and let somebody else win? That's the right thing to do. But I'm not the sticker police. All right, so today's word is, and make sure you type it exactly the way you see it. We're going to go with hashtag monkey, because it's Take a Monkey to Lunch Day. Hashtag monkey, and it can be all uppercase, it can be all lowercase, it can be a combination of uppercase and lowercase, but no spaces, and make sure you use the hashtag. Hashtag monkey. And then we'll draw when this song ends. So hurry up. I know it's a big word. 2 syllables. MONKEY. Hashtag monkey. Or hashtag Chris will work too. Alright, I'll read some comments while you're doing that. Whose mother? Oh yeah, Carol Burnett tugged on her ear to say hello. I think it was her grandmother. Pretty sure it was her grandmother. Yeah. William says it was her grandmother who raised her. Good trivia there. Appreciate that. Whoa, David Martin saw the Beatles when they first appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show. How about that? What year was that? Was I even born? I don't think I was. All right. See how Dale did it? Hashtag monkey. Jeff, hashtag monkey. Here we go, though. You got a 1 in 13 chance of winning. We're going to do it. Give you a chance. Dale Wallace. Hey, congratulations, Dale. You are the winner of this evening's sticker giveaway. Congratulations to you, Dale. Well, Dale, here's what you have to do. If you don't remember, if you don't know already, I need you to send an email to me at contactmcgtv@gmail.com, Dale, with your mailing address, postal address, and I will stick these in an envelope and ship them off to you as soon as I can. Might be a few days. But anyway, congratulations, Dale. Shoot me an email, contactmcgtv@gmail.com, and we'll get these stickers off to you. Congratulations. Everybody, big hand for Dale Wallace. Congratulations to you, Dale. Boop. There we go. So what else is new? The wildflowers are doing well. They're coming in beautifully. It's been an interesting summer because we've gotten a good amount of rain. When I was cutting the grass tonight, while I was multitasking and frying up dinner on the Blackstone, it's thick. The grass is really thick. The sheep are doing well. We let them out to free range every day, and that way they get fresh grass from the meadow. The problem with the sheep is they're not trainable. Now, they don't leave the property because I don't know why. I guess because we're surrounded by woods. Whatever. They stay around the house, around the property, eat the grass. But I've noticed they have a routine, which is fascinating to me. I let the sheep out of the little paddock area that they're in. First place they go, like they'll eat a little bit around the gate, and then they beeline for the grapevines. They love the grapevines. They love the leaves, and now we've got green grapes on there. Not ripe green grapes. They're Concord grapes. So they're going to be purple, but they're grapes, and they're eating them too. That's like a drug, I think, to the sheep. So they go for the grapevines. They've trimmed them all the sides, so we don't care too much because we're not going to mess with the grapes. But they're pretty to have. Anyway, they go there, and then they go out into the meadow by the solar panels, and thumbs up, by the solar panels, and they'll eat in the meadow for a while, maybe an hour or so, a half an hour to an hour. They'll be out there by the solar panels, and they'll eat there. Then they'll work their way around to why the carport and eat around there as well. And then they'll work their way right to the back door of the house. And that's when I have to run out and get rid of them because Anne planted tomato plants by the back door. And unfortunately, sheep love tomato plants. And they've kind of destroyed them. Like, we're not going to get any tomatoes this year because I can't get to them quick enough. They eat those leaves so quickly. So I would let them free range longer if they would stay out. I mean, they've got a 3-acre meadow, and if they would just stay out there, they could free range all day. But the fact is, they graze, and I guess that's part of nature, how sheep graze, so they don't maybe kill an area. But even though they have plenty of grass in one area, they methodically move along. But I've noticed this routine that they do, and it's the same. Anyway, they lose out by coming to the back door and eating the plants they shouldn't eat, and then I have to go put them. But then they get grain they think it's a reward probably for eating the tomato plants. But we do like to let them out in free range just a little bit, anyway. So yeah, it's been good. It's been good. Right. Well, let's see what's a question from Chris. Have you used the new Woodland Mills chipper anymore? If so, what are your thoughts? I did make a video. Thanks for bringing this up, Chris. If you've been following along, you may have learned that I am now an official ambassador for Woodland Mills, which means I've partnered with Woodland Mills, and they sent me the new TF68 Pro twin flywheel wood chipper. I've done a lot with the WC68, which is a wood chipper that I purchased 4 or 5 years ago myself, made a lot of content with it, and had been an unofficial ambassador for Woodland Mills. It's a good company, good products. So we got together, in the last 6-8 months and started talking, and they kind of are sponsoring me, and they're not paying me anything, but they provided this wood chipper for me to use on the channel and demonstrate to you, and that's what I'm doing with it. Going to be using it just like the other wood chipper. So that's the Woodland Mills backstory. And I have not used it anymore yet, Chris. In fact, we're going to go out soon, as soon as this weather breaks, I think. And we've got a lot of piles of branches around to chip up. But the twin flywheel system is pretty neat because it has the cutting flywheel like the WC68 has. And that's a great chipper. There's really nothing wrong with it. But this one has that flywheel, and then there's another one behind it that spins at a faster RPM, so you have more velocity and more airflow to eject the chips. And the little bit I used it, you can tell the difference doing that. The challenge I had with the WC68 is in chipping greenish evergreen, pine, cedar, because they have a lot of those needles on it, and they would kind of clog up the wood chipper. So that's going to be the real test when I start doing some of that to see if that clears easier. And I think it will. I think that's the idea behind it. So that's what I've been doing there. So Gregory has a comment here, a question. First, 2 additions to the B2601 were the top and tilt cylinders for the box blade, back blade. Have you ever changed yours out? I haven't, but I guess you have rear remotes. I don't have rear remotes on my tractor. Now, our friend Chris added rear remotes to his LX 2610, but I have not done that to the B2601. And I have no plans to do that to that tractor because I feel like that tractor does all it's going to do for me. So I'm really hoping in the future to upgrade that tractor to something bigger. I don't know if I'm going to have to get rid of it and get something bigger, or if I can keep that and get a bigger one. I don't know what's going to work out, but I feel like that tractor is kind of maxed out, and I love it, and I'll continue to use it as long as I can. But I don't plan on doing too much more with modifying that tractor. It's just I just really am at a point where I would like higher lift capacity, higher PTO horsepower, bigger, bigger and better. Who's your handyman? Oh, Hachi. Yeah, the spelling is Hachi. Full name Hachiko, Hachiko, which was a famous dog from, I believe, Japan. So that's who Hachi is named after. An extremely loyal dog. Amazing story. Look up the story of Hachiko. I've shared before. If you can handle it, watch the modern day version of that story. It's a movie with Richard Gere, and the true story of Hachiko occurred like in the early 1900s, I think it was. But so this was an updated version, a modern day tale of Hachiko. So if you look up Richard Gere Hachiko, watch it, and you'll be in a puddle. Anyway, great story. So, the question about Hachi, does she herd the sheep? No, she ignores them completely. They hang out. She doesn't chase them. She doesn't bother them. They don't really bother her. They just coexist. So, Bob asked about the Bomalite. It's working great. I actually loaned it to a zoo down in Maryland, and they used it to build a mini golf course. So it got good use there. We got some pictures and sent them to Bomalite, and I think they uploaded it on their website. You'll see a picture of it, and it'll say, I think, a zoo from, I think they said it was New Jersey. But anyway, yeah, so they used it, and it we're still using it, and it's working great. Murphy's Mowers, Nashville, Tennessee. Well, welcome, Murphy Mowers. I spent some time in Nashville because I got family down south of Nashville, about an hour south of Nashville. Sister and her family, and my brother just moved down there. And my nephew had a business in Nashville, but I believe he sold it. He may still work there. But the Nashville, what was it called? Nashville Butcher Shop or something. I had the hat. Remember, I gave one of them away one time. Anyway, I've enjoyed visiting Nashville, the Grand Ole Opry. Great. I've seen it at the Ryman Theater. I've seen it at the new place. So Nashville is fun. I'd like to spend some more time there, actually. Chris says, if I get a new tractor, I absolutely want rear remotes and top and tilt. Thank you later. Yep, I think so. And that's another neat thing about that Summit tractor. It comes with rear remotes. It comes with a third function valve. Comes with the front end loader. It comes with filled rear tires with beet juice. A lot of things that it comes with that a lot of tractors don't. Comment that a step up from the B series would be the L series. I think the L series is not enough of a step up, honestly, unless I were to get like the L39 series. Maybe that would be 3902. That's 39 horsepower. That probably would be good. You're right. That'd probably be a good step up. I feel like that additional horsepower is what I really need. So, otherwise, I've got. I'm talking to somebody about being a guest on the live stream. I don't know if it'll be next week. I don't know if it'll be at all. So I don't really want to tell you who it is, but it's a person on TikTok who has like 2 million followers. I think they have 1 million on YouTube. Very interesting person, a little different type of content. But me, I like to have interesting people on the live chat. like we had John Furness and his wife Annie, the blind woodsman, which I just think was a great story. And John and Annie were a guest twice, John by himself and then John and Annie together. We had Rob from American Pickers. So that was fun to have him on here. So I'm talking to somebody now that I think you'll like to meet if we can work this out. That's all I got to say about that. But I'll be very excited if we can get this happening, right? So that's where we are. And then I've just got more stuff going on our property here, and who knows what I'll be doing with the tractor next. Probably running the wood chipper or the stump grinder or any kind of maintenance like that. I've got some stone to spread. Always things to do. Always things to do. So, well, listen, thanks for being here tonight. I do appreciate it. It's a great way to start out the week. It means the world to me that you come here each Monday night. It means the world to me that you watch the channel and support the channel and help us by doing that. This is a hobby. It's a business as well, though. You know, we count on, bottom line is we count on the ad revenue that YouTube pays for the videos. It's a lot of time and effort to put into the videos. Not complaining. I love doing it. Point is, you make it worthwhile by watching the videos, by commenting on the videos. So do me a favor after this, if you have some time tonight or this week, go back to the channel, check it out, click on the videos page, scroll through, look for a video you haven't seen yet, and watch it for me, or watch a video all over again. But I really count on your feedback and your support and your encouragement, and it means the world to me. So I hope you have a great week. I definitely look forward to seeing you next week. So until then, well, what can I say? Just have a great week. Thanks for being here. And as always, I look forward to seeing you next time.